Across the country, over 3,500 thefts are reported every day.
And have you noticed any other property that's been taken?
To track these thieves down, police rely on the network of cameras lining Britain's roads.
The IP said while officers were with her when it was stolen, she received a phone call from a friend saying that they'd seen the vehicle matching this description in Chad at the time.
Yeah, excuse me, but the stolen at the IP office as well, just in case it's 15 that.
14 miles northwest of Derby, traffic cop Craig Dawes is looking for a stolen car that's triggered police cameras.
The report that we'd got is that the owner had dropped some keys, didn't know where or when, and somebody picked it up and drove the car. But car key burglaring, it's a big problem we're suffering at the moment. Normally they burgle the house, steal items, and then make off in the car.
So far, the vehicle's hit up somewhere, supposedly in convoy with a Corsa. So we're looking for that as well now. It is important that we try and locate it as quick as possible.
The cops are also looking for a red Vauxhall Corsa, which has been seen travelling together with the stolen car.
It's always nice to catch somebody in the act, but it's very rare that that happens. Ollie, I've just come down there now.
Craig and colleagues, including traffic cop Matt Cooling, surround the area.
We've managed to pinpoint it down to a rough town. But bear in mind, it's a nice day. The area's busy. There's lots of tourist areas. You know, if this car fails to stop, you know, what's going to happen? Is you're going to collide? Is it going to cause damage? You know, are we going to get injured?
I've got it in convoy with the Corsa.
With Craig and other units minutes away, Matt keeps his distance.
Yeah, in front of me there's a blue BMW, member of the public. In front of that is subject vehicle, which is the Golf. And then ahead of that is the Corsa that was mentioned in convoy towards Derby.
I'm making my way through here.
There is a lot of responsibility when you're the first car that makes contact with it. My job is to continue to follow it and give live updates as to where we're going, whether it's changing its manner of driving due to seeing me.
It's not a failed stop at this time. It's driving normally in traffic. I've got one covered.
It's then a case of me getting other units behind me to catch me up, and at the first available opportunity, look at boxing the vehicle in.
The plan is we'll get sufficient T-Pack resources and we'll look at a preemptive box on the Golf initially.
At Force HQ, Control is able to track the officers and help position other units ahead of Matt.
My name's Stuart. I'm one of the ops units that is active, and we sent the Stinger down there, and the rest of you moved down to form a convoy to preemptive. 2-9, just to let you know, you've got other units coming to you. 2-5, I've got your Stinger. Where are you?
I'm behind you now.
After 6 minutes, Craig catches up. Up ahead, Matt and the suspect cars are stuck at temporary traffic lights.
Julia, I've got you in sight now.
Yeah, just be mindful when this traffic passes, he is watching in the offside mirror. You've got him up there to Philip Rod stop to sting it. Yeah, 2-4. Gents, after this traffic then, move up please. I'll take car 1. Mark car, take 2. Take car 2. And if you can take car 3 at the rear, doors in.
I'm clear now of traffic.
So the driver has clocked me, and he's been fidgety in the seat, watching me constantly in the mirror, clearly watching for what's going to be the next move that we're going to make.
Yeah, they're expected to stop. This is a fail to stop.
As Matt and Craig pursue the stolen Golf, the suspect Corsa is left behind.
Authorities continue, please.
Yeah, authority, CRA,
Thank you. Speed is now 60, increasing in a 50. DRA is low at the moment. Now entering the town, it is 80 in a 30.
There's nothing fun about being involved in pursuits. They are dangerous and it exposes a lot of people to danger and risk.
Full stand by.
The car has hit a curb and is damaged.
Yeah, vehicle lost control on an offside bend. This vehicle has got heavy damage to its rear near side wheel, buckled, and the vehicle is crabbing. Speed is 70 in a 50. The vehicle's all over the road due to the damage. I'm just conscious I need to public. DRA is high. I'm holding back. I'm a good probably 300-400 yard, I think now.
So the driver's now damaged his wheel, and even at that point he continued to drive at high speed, and it just means that, you know, the risks are even higher than what they were before, because he's now got control of a vehicle which is now all over the road and is still not slowing down.
Ahead, a Stinger is set up to puncture the stolen car's tyres.
Yeah, vehicle is now slowing. Just trying to play catch up. Yeah, I've now regained eyeball of the vehicle. Still crabbing. Speed is 80 and a 50. I've got a near side indication. Stand by.
Get out of the top! Get him out! Get him over! Stand your back! Get him over! Yep, get him up, guys. Come on, get round here. Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Down! Down! Yeah. Prison time!
You're under arrest. Suspicion of theft.
There.
Yep, I'm failing to stop.
Failing to stop for police.
Yeah.
Dangerous driving.
Yeah.
No insurance.
No insurance.
Have you got any insurance? No, it's a stolen car, so you won't be insured.
Stolen?
And theft of a motor vehicle.
Theft?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you don't have to say anything, but my own defence, if you don't mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court, anything you do say may be given in evidence, and it's necessary for the prompt and effective investigation of those offences.
Can I have a solicitor?
I think you can have a solicitor who can at least do that for you, yeah.
Up you get!
Up you get.
This one. You got anything on you? Scratches?
No.
Sure?
Yeah.
That had the potential there to become, a serious incident. No regard to anybody's safety. Luckily, nobody's been injured or any other vehicles damaged. That's the main thing. Great sting by JT up there, which disabled his rear tyre.
Yeah, we got the sting, yeah. Certainly went over it. As I was pulling it back in, a car's come over and dragged it out of my hand, so it's ripped it out of my hand, so it's cut my hand to smithereens as well.
Stinger's a brilliant tool that we use now. It's becoming more and more common. I saw it back end of it in road.
As I've stung it, and I'm pulling it back in, because I was pulling it across the road.
I saw it string like in air.
And that's how it ended. Luckily for you lot, it ended up where it did.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't do anything about it.
No, mate, good work, good work.
The driver and his passenger are both under 18.
What you got on you? Anything?
I was shocked at how young they looked. These are kids that drive in this car, probably don't have a licence, and the risk that they've just taken for what gain? What are they going to get out of this?
In the last 5 years, there have been more than 12,000 prosecutions involving teenagers under the age of 18 for car crimes.
Sweating bus.
It will be.
Woof.
We find that teenagers are involved in car crime quite a lot, whether from joyriders or they've been sent in to do the burglary to take the cars. You know, you tend to find that Mr. Big at the top of the chain will find somebody vulnerable, find somebody that just wants a bit of money. Here's £50, I want that car stealing from there, bringing to there, thank you very much.
I bought it earlier. I had no ignition that it was stolen.
Well, I'm telling you it is, all right?
Whoa, stop that car!
As the road reopens, officers spot 2 more teenage suspects in the red Corsa, which is believed to be linked to the stolen Golf.
So what we've got is the car we've talked about that's in convoy. We've managed to get that as well. So great result, had by all.
Anything you do say maybe giving evidence, do you understand that? Okay. These will be taken to Ripley custody now, where they'll be dealt with by the local force, where the vehicle's been stolen from. Everything came together quite nicely. Successful outcome on this job.
It's 25 degrees outside. You've got 2 pairs of trackies on, 2 jumpers.
You stand back and think, the kids.
Your taxi up you get then, chap?
But then, regardless of their age, they put others at risk and me.
All right, mate. Cheers.
Cheers.
With the 4 suspects facing questioning about their involvement in the theft of the Golf, it's the end of a busy shift for Craig and the team. Coming up, criminals desperate to get away.
Males have just stolen tools and smashed the windows to a van with a hammer.
It's shocking. One of them's got a hammer, who obviously smashes the window, and the other appears to have a machete.
Gangs targeting motorway services.
3 occupants arrested that have been seen angle grind in the back of a lorry.
And a burglary in progress as thieves smash their way into a shop.
I don't think people quite understand sometimes how crucial that CCTV can be in giving us a lead on something.
Across England and Wales, police recorded more than 1.3 million thefts in 2021. They increasingly rely on the country's network of cameras to bring criminals to justice.
CCTV is a massive, massive positive for the police, and it is a huge piece of evidence that the police can use. It is a massive deterrent for people, and it is hugely, hugely positive.
Hello?
Emergency.
I've had the tools stolen from my van, and I've been attacked with a hammer, and my vehicle's window smashed. We're in the middle of nowhere, and I'm not comfortable.
No, I bet you are.
Can you get somebody in, please? Because if they come back armed with a hammer, I'm in trouble.
And observations on units in the Gronfield area for an incident that's just happened with Gronfield. Males have just stolen tools and smashed the windows to a van with a hammer.
On the M1 near Chesterfield, traffic cop Andy Swift is 10 miles from the scene of the reported attack and theft.
I'm junction 30, I'll start making my way over that way. Could you try and find out a bit more about what type of van it is, please?
Yeah, he didn't know. He just said a large white van. 16 plate, that's as much as he got.
People stealing tools from a van in Dromfield. It's one of them things though, it's middle of the day, white van men are all out and about, you know what I mean? It's not 6 in the morning or anything like that where people aren't around.
My plan is to just look for a vehicle that matches the description of the one that's been given by the victim, so in this case a white van.
You're massively against it because they can go anywhere they want, but at the same time you've only got to get lucky once, whereas they've got to get lucky every time.
After an hour searching for the thieves,
I'm about a mile away, I think.
the victim has found the van abandoned nearby.
The van mover thinks it's on closed plates.
At the moment, they're probably fully aware of the fact that we believe that they're driving a white van. It's an easily identifiable feature. We haven't got a description of them. If they're out on foot, obviously it just makes it a lot more difficult, especially if they split up to make the getaway.
I've never been down here before.
47 State 6 with the van.
Thank you.
The location, it's just in the middle of nowhere really. It's a countryside area, it's good for them sometimes because not many witnesses. So they might think, well, we can dump it here and then it might not get noticed for, I don't know, a day, 2 days. Whereas if they start dumping it and taking things out the back in the middle of a town or a city, there's obviously a lot more witnesses around and you've got things like CCTV and stuff like that.
Hello.
Hey man, alright?
Are you alright? Are you the one that phoned up, are you, about it?
Yeah.
Lovely. Nicked, I think.
Is it? Well, it looks like a clear van.
I assume they've nicked it. Whatever was in it is in terms of the parcels, and then obviously that other stuff I think's been nicked as well. Where from, I'm not sure. But
Right, well that's my stuff.
Is that your stuff, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Is that you the one that phoned up early on then?
I thought what happened was I was up on Woodmere. You probably don't know it. I was up at Holmesfield mowing,
Yeah.
swimming around, and they backed into the little snicket that I was in.
Yeah.
And I went to put my mower back in the van as they drove off. Opened the van bare.
Right, I get.
So I went in pursuit.
Yeah.
And they came down here.
Yeah.
And I got to there, and they jumped out with a lump hammer.
Right, so
and
sure.
put the window through.
Right.
So I sped off that way.
Obviously you would do,
Obviously,
yeah.
phone 999.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll just come back down to see if, because if they get pulled and they've got a mower in the back, so I thought it might just be discarded there.
Is the still blower thing yours
That's
as well?
still
is it?
blower, and that lawnmower is
Yours,
mine. Yeah.
All right. So if you want to make your life a bit easier, get your stuff out of it now.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So if you got your, do you want to bring your van up?
Yeah, brilliant.
It's pretty up here, mate. Yeah, of course you can.
Despite the rural location, a property with CCTV has captured the moments after the gardener tried to get his stuff back.
The violence is shocking. The lengths people are willing to go to for what is effectively a mower and a strimmer are unbelievable, really. It angers me when you watch it and see what they're willing to do. One of them's got a hammer, who obviously smashes the window, and the other appears to have a machete.
I know a lot of tradesmen, builders, and everybody you speak to. There isn't one who's not had this sort of experience. It's just it's an epidemic. Thanks, mate.
No worries.
It's getting the stuff back that's the main thing, because I can't work without the stuff, and to keep going and buying stuff at £1,000, £1,500, only for it to happen again maybe in another couple of weeks. I don't know what the answer is.
Complaints.
By checking the vehicle identification number through the windscreen, Andy can find the identity of the van.
Stolen from Preston Road in Macclesfield, parcel delivery van. On the 5th of March this year, with about 7 parcels on board.
It's been stolen. They don't want to be seen as driving around that because it might activate ANPR cameras, which might be looking for it, and then they'll just stick on other vehicles' number plates, generally of a similar description. So a Peugeot partner might not be quite the same model, or a Peugeot box, or whatever it is. Might be a slightly different engine or something like that, but it'll be something that if you were to glance at it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the right vehicle. This is why when your parcels don't get delivered, and everyone's at home moaning like I am, going, where's my parcel? Because some poor souls had the van nicked. That's a shoe, that one. Oh dear.
There is a massive issue at the moment with parcel delivery vehicles being stolen. You've got all the parcels, so there might actually be something of real value in there, and also you've got yourself a stolen vehicle, so it's a massive problem.
But parcels aren't the only items the thieves have been targeting.
They've obviously been nicking a lot of tools because this is a van that obviously delivers Amazon parcels, so it would have no need for a wood plane and other tools as far. So they've obviously been using it to nick tools for a while. I'll tell you what, they're ready if anyone stops them. Baseball bat, 9 iron. There's no doubt that if they were going to be stopped by the police or attempt to be stopped, they're already in possession of weapons that they can use. So it shows you what type of people you're dealing with, because I think it's fair to say they're probably not avid golfers or baseball aficionados, so I think it's quite clear what they got them for. Probably the more concerning one is clearly this is a massive, massive crowbar that someone's got. That is weighty. And you throw that at someone, it's like a spear. It's like something from I don't know, something from ancient times. You throw that at someone and that goes straight through your windscreen.
With no sign of the thieves, all Andy can do is recover the van and its contents for forensics and hope there's a match to the men caught on camera.
People that are out and about committing these crimes on this level, this is an organised crime gang. The lengths they're willing to go to is just crazy. The value of what they're stealing and what they'll get for it is massively outweighed by the violence or willingness to use violence. It's beggars belief.
With 5 million CCTV cameras, the UK has the world's 4th largest surveillance network, and police secure over 1 million convictions each year as a result.
A picture speaks 1,000 words, and being able to review something via CCTV shows unbiasedly what's happened, and that for us is best evidence.
Ned, I'm just approaching junction 29, so I'm going to come off and wait on the north on-slip. You might as well wait, Chris, on the roundabout initially, mate, in case it comes off.
Staff at a motorway service station have alerted the police to some suspicious activity in their lorry park. Traffic cop Matt Cooling is nearby.
We've received information that 2 people have been witnessed trying to break into a lorry trailer at Tib Shelf Services. Apparently it's a black BMW, so just we've got a car sat on the overbridge in case it comes off, and I'll sit here, see if we can get behind it here. I know there was other units that were nearby and looking, and it was just a case of strategically placing ourselves in a position where we were going to come across it.
Tango 30, set up Stinger, approximately.
This is it coming past us now, we think.
Attention.
Colleagues are already following the suspects as Matt joins the motorway.
We're on the motorway network, on the M1. You know, it's a fast 4-lane bit of the motorway, a very dangerous place.
Weather dry, stand by.
What we don't want is a situation where this vehicle is going to start upping the ante, trying to get away at high speed, because then we've got a big risk then of getting other members of the public embroiled in the incident.
That's 200. That's 100.
The decision was, when we knew that we'd got a safe, sterile area, that we were going to put a box on and bring this vehicle to a stop.
Wait, 270. Keep moving up, 80. Take a 30, I'm just joining at 29 Alpha. Not with it yet. 80. Stop.
With enough police units in place, Matt and the team move in.
Stopped you before, I think, a few weeks ago.
Don't like us boys from Leeds, that's what it is.
Well,
Leeds people, they don't like us over here.
the occupants of the car were from out the county, they were from West Yorkshire. And what we see is that in relation to theft from HGVs and the organised crime aspect, those individuals involved in that are generally from the same area that these four had come from.
Last time you stopped me again,
We stopped you before, or Derbyshire?
We've had information that suggests that a vehicle similar description to yours, the occupants have been seen to angle grind a lorry at Tib Shelf Services, all right?
Thieves will often cut through lorry curtain sides to check the value of the cargo before returning to steal it.
2 batteries, Matt.
Were they all in the middle bit?
Yeah. Makita. Yeah. Expensive, yeah.
They look like metal cutting discs.
Put one like a little angle grinder. So I just cut through metal.
Fortunately, the only thing we're missing is the angle grinder itself. I reckon that's been tossed, mate. That's going to have been discarded or thrown somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, there were 2 lads in a Beamer, 54 plate grey Beamer.
Where did they go?
I don't know, when I pulled out was from there.
What?
They're all like smoked up a proper old car, you know what I mean?
The driver was trying to claim that we'd stopped the wrong BMW, that he'd seen another one at the services, and that ultimately we got the wrong people.
Officers also find high-vis jackets in the car.
Sometimes being really bright and stand out makes you actually look more incognito than actually creeping around in black hoodies. So, work gloves, high-vis, just look like they're wandering around the trucks to, go back to one of their own lorries.
They put a plastic cover over the thing though, mate.
What on there? It's estimated thieves steal goods worth £70 million from trucks every year.
Getting locked up. Getting locked up.
3 occupants arrested at the minute that have been seen angle grinding the back of a lorry. So they're locked up for vehicle interference with a view to obviously steal something from it, we suspect. So see what they've got to say when they're interviewed. We'll get the car seized. I'll see you back at the office. They don't give up. They're at it relentlessly, day in, day out. I've met the driver about twice, I think, 3 times possibly. The issue is that, they're the spotters, so to speak. They're the one that will go and, see what's in these trucks, whether it's worth nicking from them or whatever. They're just part of the chain. And then as soon as they find something that's worth taking for them, then they'll call in this other lorry or something, and that gets loaded up there with all the goods. The first time the innocent lorry driver will know about it is when they woke up from the slumber. It's all part of organised crime higher up, but the luck's run out tonight.
Coming up, a suspected gang targeting heavy machinery.
The informant's had his CCTV upgraded since theft a couple of days ago, and he's caught the exact same vehicle that turned up in Nick's Australia the other night, so there's a good chance that they are going to turn back up.
And it's a race against time to catch armed thieves.
Defenders don't care who they hurt, what they do. To them, injuring a cop, it's absolutely nothing.
Right, okay, sorry, just speak a bit slower. So you've got a shop, and what's happened?
Across England and Wales, there are 1.8 million thefts and burglaries every year.
Have you got CCTV in your shop?
But catching thieves in the act is never easy.
Were they on foot or on bike?
So I've been a cop coming up 8 years now, and theft has never seemed to go down since I started. Thieves are just the absolute scum of the earth. They ruin everybody's life that they come across.
Oscar Tango 3-4, available for a 1014 intruder activation. Any over?
Yeah, I'm coming in from Alfreton side. CCTV monitoring system at the tip shelf has confirmed intruder.
Traffic cop Chris Wells-Jackson is on his way to a burglary.
While I'm travelling, the information that I'm getting told is that the offender's inside the building, the alarm's sounding, and the smoke screen's gone off.
With Chris just moments away, time is critical. The thieves are getting ready to make their escape. Chris searches the store, but there's no sign of the thieves. So he checks the CCTV to help identify the suspects.
So on the CCTV, so 0309, the blue vehicle comes past. A minute later, we see these offenders turning up. One of them's armed with a baseball bat, and the other one, interestingly, goes straight for the bin lid. But you can see this guy's got some sort of jemmy and they're just taking the time to crowbar the door up. The guy at the back who's shrouded in the smoke, he's got quite a large stick in his hand. And this guy here's got a knife in his hand. They're obviously professionals at what they do. They'll have been here in the daytime as a general customer to have a good look round, scope round the shop, look at where the exits are, look at what security features the shop's got. They'll have planned every little bit of this and they'll have had a target to get in and out within 3 or 4 minutes, and essentially that's what they've done. I'm sure they'll have scoped another shop out and another one after that, and they'll keep doing it and doing it and doing it until they get caught, because it obviously pays. Less than a minute between those guys walking out of the shop and going across the car park. The same blue vehicle heads back in the opposite direction. So we'll do a little bit of research on it. We'll pass some observations out across our force and neighbouring forces, and hopefully at some point tonight we'll get that picked up before it does another job. I don't think people quite understand sometimes how crucial that CCTV can be in giving us a lead on something. When it comes down to tracing vehicles, people don't realise how important it is for us to link them to a series of other similar offences, because there will always be CCTV at the next offence and the one after that. So when you start putting things together, it creates a much bigger picture, and ultimately that bigger picture will lead to a better investigation.
Convenience stores and service stations aren't the only target for thieves. Trade in heavy machinery has become big business for organised criminals. And in the last year, there has been a 50% rise in these types of thefts.
Plant theft is very common, and because you only have to steal one item and that could be worth 40, 50 grand. If you've already got a buyer that's willing to take that off your hands, then it's an easy night's work.
And Tango 49. What was the informant's address, please? Have they mentioned any vehicles on the log?
Chris is 2 hours into another shift.
Somebody's called up to say that someone's turned up at an address and starting to film some plant machinery, possibly looking at stealing it, so I'm just going to make his way to the area.
The information I'm getting as I'm travelling is that this guy's trailer's been stolen a few days back, and he recognises the offending vehicle that's just turned up on his street, so he thinks that these guys are going to come back and steal his mini digger.
So the informant's house is a little bit further back. It turns out that the guy that's called us is just having some CCTV fitted, and they should have captured the vehicle and the reg on the CCTV that they're fitting.
The victim has clips of his trailer theft.
Hi, mate.
That's my trailer, basically it was here.
Yeah.
Wedged him behind my van. Mr. Scott was forward and it's gone.
Magic.
Here's footage. So that's here looking from that camera of the garage.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. John Crown.
It's really hurting because by having that trailer stolen, he's had to pay to rent another trailer to carry on his business. Can they get access to that digger? And on top of that, he's got the worry that these people are going to come back and steal something else of his.
With his trailer already gone, the man is worried the gang will return tonight for his mini digger. It's an issue that is costing tradesmen millions of pounds a year.
If you do see it again, just ring straight back in. People will go to try and find it. All right, mate. Cheers.
Cheers.
The suspect getaway car is linked to an address close by, so Chris and his colleagues begin a search.
It's registered here. There's every chance it's just drove down here off the cuff. And it ain't there now. It's a strange one. I mean, you could almost throw a stone to that address, couldn't you, from the offence location, so it's quite strange. I'd be very, very surprised if it's going to
do anything that close to home, but you never know.
Minutes later, the suspect car hits police cameras.
I'm not far away. Adam, keep behind it, mate.
Chris is trying to get ahead of the car so he can intercept it.
I'm going to sit at the junction with Pinkston Lane and Mansfield Road. Is it coming in that direction?
Coming up.
Contact today.
Chris catches sight of the suspect.
Turn left onto Mansfield Road. If I go in front, if someone else just wants to drop up behind it.
And moves in to make an arrest.
Those plates that was in the back of that car, okay? Yeah. They are plates off a stolen trailer.
In the last year, there's been a significant rise in the theft of heavy machinery, costing businesses an estimated £400 million.
Can they get access to that digger?
The traffic cops in Derbyshire are on the hunt for a suspect linked to the recent theft of a trailer and the targeting of a mini digger.
Yeah, 2-4. I'm sat at the end of Pinkston Lane, so if it comes this way. In fact, it's in front of me now. Contact today. It's a turn left onto Mansfield Road.
15 miles north of Derby, traffic cop Chris Wells-Jackson has found the suspect car.
2-4, straight on, the mini roundabout.
Chris believes the suspect may be planning another theft from the same location.
If I go in front, if someone else just wants to drop up behind it. Hi mate.
Alright.
You alright, you?
Yeah, good, tied up.
Good. Reason I've stopped you is
Yeah.
vehicle's been seen in suspicious circumstances.
Right, okay.
Alright. So I'm going to take some details off you, okay? Do me a favour, turn the engine off, we'll get our car shifted, alright, and then we'll come over the road up, alright. Just going to grab your keys. Whose vehicle is it?
It's one of my friends, to be honest.
It's one of your friends. Are you sure to drive it?
I mean, it's on a trailer's policy, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Right, so basically, this vehicle's possibly been involved in a theft at some point in the last couple of days, and then possibly scoping out for another theft earlier on this evening.
You're joking?
No. So.
A theft of what?
Plant machinery.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to detain you at the moment.
Yeah,
all
no
right,
problem.
someone else going off. All right.
Yeah.
Who's the number plates in the back of the car?
Mate, I had no idea. The car's used variously.
There's plates in the back of the car from stolen vehicles.
Can I just answer my friend?
No, not at the moment. You're detained, all right. Just come and sit it back in my car for me.
There is a number plate in the back from the stolen trailer. So, it's a good result, really.
I'm going to keep you in cuffs. I'm going to detain you for the purposes of a search of that, you itself and that vehicle, all right?
Yeah, no
I'm sure you've probably not got much on yourself, okay? But just to let you know, you've been detained under Section 1 of PACE, okay?
Yeah.
The grounds for that search are obviously the vehicle's been seen in suspicious circumstances.
Yeah.
We believe it might have been involved in a plant theft a couple of nights ago.
Right, okay.
I'll just go wisely with him, while we?
Mate, you're not showing as being insured on the
Have you got
policy.
another vehicle you can drive at all?
Well, I'm fully comprehensive
On
on other vehicles. There's my policy, look. That's me there. It has come up as I need to do a payment on it, but it's still active.
It says this policy has expired or has been cancelled. It says it at the top.
That's the text I've had today then, but it is still running till midnight. That is my typical look.
It says policy end date 31st of the 5th 2021, so that was 4 days ago.
Shit, I've missed that, haven't I?
Yeah.
Is there no way I can do something about
Right, I'll be straight with you. All right. So those plates that was in the back of that car, okay?
Yeah.
They are plates off a stolen trailer.
You're joking?
No. Okay, that trailer was stolen 2 days ago. Okay. So the suspicious circumstances that vehicle's been seen in tonight has been near the exact same offence location as the trailer being stolen the other night. I'll be straight with you. You're coming with us for an interview, okay?
No problem.
Right. I'm no expert, But putting 2 and 2 together, we might just get 4.
While the suspect is checked in for questioning,
I'll take your time, take the cuffs off, get to wash your hands, let's check on those, then we'll get you booked in, okay?
Chris updates the owner of the stolen trailer.
Hi mate, 6 Police, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good, got some good news for you. We've got the vehicle stopped and a lad locked up, and your reg plates off your trailer are in the back of the car, so I'm happy it's the right vehicle.
I just knew something could come of it.
No, you're alright. I can't promise you the world and say that he's going to be going to prison, etc. But
totally, but we're getting somewhere, aren't we? Let's face it.
yeah, I mean, we literally got him stopped about 15 minutes after I spoke to you. Just kick your shoes off.
Yeah.
Cheers, Ian. We've really got to have some solid evidence to prove that he's stolen it. Hopefully, the CCTV will show enough to get some sort of conviction against him.
It's estimated that the widespread use of CCTV has helped reduce the burglary and theft rate by up to 20% a year.
It's amazing the lengths people go to steal something, but at the same time, unfortunately, if you've got someone that's willing to buy something, if there's a demand there, then people are going to carry on doing it.
In this episode, the teenagers arrested in the stolen Golf for theft of a motor vehicle, failing to stop and dangerous driving have both been released under investigation while the police undertake further statements and phone analysis. The driver and passenger in the suspected convoy car were later de-arrested and no action was taken against them for any offences. In the case of the attack with the hammer and the gardener's stolen tools, forensic tests have identified 2 suspects, but as yet no arrests have been made. The men suspected of attempting to steal from a lorry were released without charge the following day due to the unlikely prospect of a conviction. Each of them have been arrested on more than 2 occasions for similar offences in the last year. Police were unable to identify the suspects who broke into the convenience store or their getaway car. And the man arrested on suspicion of stealing a trailer and the targeting of a mini digger was not charged with any theft offences, but he has been reported to court for driving without insurance and with a bald tyre. He could be facing a driving ban for totting up.
Promenade to all South Mobiles, be aware we've had a stolen vehicle hit the ANPR cameras southbound on the motorway.
What car is it?
Not got many details at this time other than it's an Audi heading southbound.
In Derby, traffic cop Stuart Smith receives a call about a suspected stolen car.
So it's currently hitting the cameras, so if we can get sight of it, ideally we need to get it stopped.
The information we have so far is that it's an Audi S3. It's made off from West Yorkshire Police and it's coming down the motorway and it's still exceeding 150 to 160 miles an hour.
160? 160 that's doing. I can't go any faster.
CSS Tango Sierra 4.
Stuart joins Sergeant Scott Riley to form a blockade on the M1.
Hard performance vehicle pursuit, advanced DPAC train.
I'm between lanes 1 and 2, Sergeant's between lanes 3 and 4, and we've got a small build-up of traffic behind us. Oh, dear me. Here we go.
The Audi speeds past Stuart up the hard shoulder.
The RA is medium, advanced vehicle, DPAC train.
Pursuit, still got visual on the vehicle. In lane 2, speed is 165. Traffic is still light. Still got few heavies in lane 1. The subject vehicle is lane 3 to lane 2.
The assumption is the car's stolen, it's going to be involved in some high-value thefts. It's usually the car of choice for people that steal ATM machines or high-value robberies. So we're thinking this is going to be a big job.
Still, speed is 165.
As Stuart plays catch-up.
Still lane 3. Still southbound motorway, the RA is medium.
Ahead, colleagues including traffic cop Jason Potts prepare another roadblock.
vehicle passes in the gutter at the side of lane 4. I just don't know how it hasn't just sent it careering off into one of the walls. I can't believe how close they were to killing one of our officers.
With the Audi forcing its way past, Stuart needs to stay behind the car until air support arrives.
Yeah, 4-6, have we got MPAS with visual?
As soon as we can get a helicopter on it, we can drop off, not be so close behind it, not put any pressure on the driver and hose in on them like that.
Yeah, MPAS, we're visual, we're overhead. It's now just passing the services and going under the overbridge out of the services. We're going to try and keep up with it, wind's in the right direction.
At Derbyshire Force HQ, Control coordinates officers from 3 forces to help Stuart.
We're still trying to get through Northampton campus here, so we're going through to Thames Valley, Bedfordshire, might end up at Hertfordshire at this rate.
This car's going so quickly, I can hear on the radio they're talking about putting Stinger sights up in the next county, and they're mentioning Hertfordshire, because within minutes it was already passing through the next county.
Past 21 southbound.
It's in the unlit section.
Yeah, if you can keep it lit up, it'll maximise the safety of all road users. And carry on with the commentary, please.
Yeah, 4-6, it's moving from lane 3 to lane 1, now back to lane 3. Still, speed is 165, still lane 3, still southbound.
4-6, they're about a mile behind you. Carry on with the commentary, please. They're a mile behind you.
I'm hoping this car stays on the motorway all the way into London and we can get more units behind it.
Speed still 165, still southbound, lane 2, passing vehicles in lane 1.
As soon as it comes off the motorway, we've got trouble.
We've got plenty of fuel. We're only 5 minutes from junction 20. Probably got an hour at least.
4-6, it's off at junction 20. Yeah, from pursuit, take the first, marking Harborough.
With the car escaping, it's now speeding through residential areas.
Even though it's the middle of the night, there's always going to be someone around. The risks go up tenfold.
Just taking the left.
Speed is 120. In 13, there's no other vehicles on the road. It's making ground on me.
We've got central reservations, we've got traffic lights ahead of us. The risks go up. So I'm backing away now. I'm dropping my speed off. Still maintaining a high speed, so I'm close to it should it come to a stop or something was to happen. But the main observations at this point are from the helicopter, and the helicopter will take over commentary.
MPAS, confirm you've still got sight of the car?
Yes, MPAS, confirmed.
Still got sight of the vehicle, it's just a long way ahead.
He did momentarily begin to lose control, but it's now regained control.
Yeah, 4-6, I've still got tail lights in the distance.
Yeah, that's the target vehicle. It's now approaching Husbands Bosworth village. There's a couple of options when it gets into the village. Stand by it.
NACO1 Derbyshire Slot Control. Can you have a DRA, please, relative speed?
From MPAS, I can't give speed. It's difficult to tell from up here, but it is flying.
4-6, speed is 13140. It's still extremely high speed.
There is no other road users in any direction. It's crash.
There they are.
We've got 4 runners.
Make sure there's no one else in it. Yeah, from 4-6 confirmed there's no one left in the vehicle.
As Stuart chases on foot, the helicopter tracks the runners with thermal cameras.
They're just going into a garden in Paddingworth.
I know that they don't know where they are. I'm in the dark a little bit. I'm in Leicestershire now. This is a different county. I've never been here before. So I'm running into the unknown.
With other units now arriving, Stuart helps coordinate officers on the ground.
we can get cops around that U-shaped road around the back of the church.
We've got them locked in quite tightly. Is there a dog on this tour group?
Yes.
As soon as you've got a helicopter, you may as well just stop. There's no chance of getting away from a helicopter, especially with the thermal imaging, even through trees. You can even see where you've been with the heat signatures that you leave on the ground. There's no escaping.
They're hiding at the back of the church or trying to. There's a little shed. Looks like they're going to try and break into it to hide. The subjects are on the move, they're sneaking out.
There were 5 of them, we've lost 1, we've got 4 inside. We need to know where it is. 2 cops on the road, just to your left.
Yeah, there they look.
Walking towards you now, on Station Road. That's them.
Place your hands in the small of your back, now!
I went and arrested every person. Some of them were a bit lippy towards me. It was just like we were putting him out.
The 4 suspects are all teenagers.
We've got 4 detained, only outstanding. There's 1 outstanding, and 8 all secure. We're going to go try and find the other one.
Moments later, the police helicopter spots another heat signature.
I've got this other person, I think. So the dog handler walk towards the farm in the church, go through that gate on the left and turn immediately right, and there's some trees. I think he's in those trees. Go across the garden. Is there a fence? Is it a separate garden? Go across that fence. The heat source we saw in the trees is those trees just to your right.
Please stop coming in! Get off!
Put your arms out!
6 detained. Right, listen, you make any sort of movements, mate, you get out.
With all 5 suspects, including a 19-year-old driver, now under arrest, they'll be taken back to Derbyshire for questioning.
So,
The driver, he looked marginally shocked, but I don't think the gravity of what he'd done and the risks he'd been involved in had sunk in at all. He had no idea how close to death he was. He didn't see the reasons why we were arresting him. He didn't understand or seem to think it was that much of a bigger deal. It was immature.
That's 5-4, well done, I knew it was something.
Good job.
As it turns out, it's because the lad had borrowed his mate's car and he'd not bought any insurance for it. That was it. All that over no insurance. Absolutely ridiculous. The lives he put at risk, all these occupants himself. He could have wiped every occupant of that car out in seconds just because he didn't want a £200 fine in his car seizing.
Coming up,
Lost at least 1 wheel.
the traffic cops hunt down a wanted suspect.
Take your hands off the field!
Speed increases 100.
A dangerous pursuit of a suspected car thief.
Wrong way on the motorway. Subject is still 7,000 miles an hour.
And officers from 3 forces hunt down a stolen van.
Once you can, move out, move out, move out.
Chaps, I'm going to brief today because we've got a cast of thousands. Well, we're nearly double figures, which is a lot for us.
At the start of a 12-hour night shift, Sergeant Scott Riley is giving a briefing about wanted suspects.
Dan and Stu, if you can double crew. Things of note, this chap is still outstanding. He's still stealing cars. We know what he looks like.
The suspect is wanted for offences including car theft and burglary, and at 24 is already a prolific criminal arrested by the traffic cops previously.
You're now under arrest on suspicion of burglary. Do you understand?
I firmly believe that if you sent every criminal to prison for twice as long, there'd be half as much crime, because not many people rehabilitate. It's the same people, day in, day out, that we're dealing with. If everybody can use marked cars, please, so we can get plenty of visibility out there, and we'll go from there.
Everyone knows what he's capable of, so the risk is relatively high.
Mate, tonight's the night, we'll have something between us.
We know that if he's spotted by a marked police vehicle, it will spook him and he will drive to try and get away. He's driven up pavements, driven up the wrong way down roads, on the opposite side of the carriageway. He will do anything.
All units monitoring this channel, we've just had an ANPR hit for a vehicle. Stand by for details.
3.5 hours later, the suspect car is spotted on police cameras.
It's up on the ANPR there. It's come up. It's important we get all the units that we can there.
Yeah, 2-4, we'll try and head them up. 4-1, just right not too far away.
Tango Sierra 4 from Amber Valley. Stop there.
Scott and 5 other units, including traffic cop Jason Potts, spread out south of Derby.
That stolen car we're looking for has just activated a traffic camera. So I'm going to make my way back to Derby. Contact, contact.
Where are you coming from? Jake, you gone after it?
Yeah, 24. It's come off, it's come off.
As Jason continues to chase, tactics are put in place to try and stop the wanted suspect.
From an 8 to all units, we've ran this past top desk. Stinger at this time is authorised.
So is there a way you set it up, Stinger?
Nearby, traffic cop Dan sets up a stinger trap.
He's driving recklessly along country roads at a rate of knots.
Stinger side set up.
We've managed to get to a good position with some good hard cover. At this moment in time, he's got no idea that the police are sat in wait for him.
I'm deploying now,
Stinger's out.
Vehicle stop. It is speed 60.
Up ahead, Dan and colleagues close in on the wanted suspect.
Speed 55. It's on the brake, stand by.
4-4, we are set to start.
This is lights out, stand by, get ready for a decamp. Speed increasing to 30. The vehicle is lights out, vehicle continues 514, speed now increasing to 50.
The car started to snake over the carriageway. There's debris coming off the tyres, smoke's coming out the back with the burning rubber.
Speed now increasing to 70 and then 40. We'll wait till we've got 3 vehicles in a suitable location. Yeah, speed 75. Centre of the carriageway, vehicle is heavy smoking on the brake, stand by. Clipped apart vehicle.
Tyres will eventually start to disintegrate.
Speed is 10. It's really struggling now. We've lost at least 1 vehicle wheel. I think it's going towards the main road. Speed is 20. It's a right. Yeah, we're going for a block here, lads. Right. If I get the opportunity, I'll get by. I'll go front. We've got 3 with us. Yeah, 3 together. Stand by. And a vehicle stopped. Dad ran the front car.
Do not move! Do not move! Keep your hands where I can see them! Do not move!
Just listen to me. Yeah, I'm listening. You're under arrest for a burglary, stolen vehicle, disc while driving, dangerous driving, and failed stop for police.
Yeah.
Right on to your side, pal.
Yeah.
That's it. You're also under arrest, mate, for criminal damage to police vehicles as well. Okay, namely ramming with that traffic car.
When was that?
What do you mean? When you were driving and you ran that traffic car just there?
No, you just come in front of me.
What?
You just ran me.
No, we failed to stop and drove dangerously.
Yeah, you want to stand up or not? Of course I do. 1, 2, 3. In the air then.
While the wanted suspect and his passenger are taken into custody, Scott searches the car.
Yeah, that brick's ready to go straight through somebody's patio window, isn't it? I can imagine the only reason that they would have that is that if they're going to do a burglary.
The Focus was stolen a week ago, and it's just one of 1,800 thefts occurring across the East Midlands every week.
Car theft seems to be rising. 20 years ago when I joined the job, when cars were easy to steal, people were crowbarring the doors and just jemmying them open. This car's not been stolen with the keys, this car's been stolen by using a radio device that's activated the keys, and they've somehow managed to link a sort of blank key to the car. So it's really quite interesting for us. We've now got the blank, so we'll try and reverse engineer it, see how they've done it. And for the owner of that car, they'll obviously be very pleased to get that back, so it's a great job by the team. It's Sergeant Scott Riley here from Derbyshire Police.
Scott calls the owner of the car.
Hello mate, I just want to tell you that we've recovered your stolen car. There is a bit of damage to it. It has been involved in an RTC with a police vehicle following a pursuit, but it is repairable. Once we release it, when we're happy, it doesn't need forensics or anything, then you'll be written a letter to say you can come and get it. All right, buddy. Cheers, mate. See you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Despite the good news the stolen car has been recovered, the damage he's caused runs into thousands.
If he doesn't want to stop, he doesn't stop. It's a danger to everyone. So if he stays out and gets behind the wheel again, I have no doubt that at some point he will kill someone. Dangerous move.
Workshops will repair that, but at least it stops this vehicle that would have done anything to get away from the police. So yeah, it's a good job.
With one of Derbyshire's most wanted behind bars, Scott and the team resumed patrol with 6 hours left of the night shift.
That's just past me at about 60 miles an hour.
20 minutes later, Scott's colleague, traffic cop Chris Wells-Jackson, spots yet another suspect car.
Past me at Bidwell. Yeah, black BMW.
This car coming over the traffic lights. You could see the suspension dip at the front of the car as it almost took off.
Which direction's it going?
I've got another whole lane.
That vehicle is registered to Milton Keynes. It's shown as a BMW M4 black coupe.
Yeah, 2 points. It was a male driver, I believe. I've got a notified indication onto Repton Road, stuff like that. Yeah, left onto Repton Road.
As Chris follows the BMW, Scott races to help.
Been driven only at this time. It's quite a narrow road, speed 30. Yeah, high performance, park vehicle, 200 infantry. Weather, thin road, clear and dry, no traffic, no pedestrians.
It's a high performance vehicle. If this is going to fail to stop, it's going to be a very high speed. Country roads is very dangerous. You've always got that possibility of something coming around a blind bend, and at 60, 70 mile an hour you just haven't got the stopping time to deal with it.
He's weaving a little bit.
He's drifting over the middle line. His road positioning is just not consistent with what it should be for somebody that will be sober or that's concentrating on the driving.
See how it falls with you, Chris.
Got in Main Street. I'll put stuff in now, so if you want to stop in front of it. Vehicle stopping on it.
Hello mate, you alright?
Any particular reason why you were doing about 60 to 70 mile an hour through a crossroads?
No, I wasn't doing 67.
You were ridiculous.
No, my exhaust is loud, but I wasn't doing
Nothing to do with your exhaust. I sat and witnessed you go at a ridiculous speed through a set of traffic lights at crossroads, and then you're in a 30 mile an hour zone. I had to do 90 mile an hour to catch up with you.
No, boss. Honestly,
yes,
I wasn't.
Yes, that's
honestly,
the way it was, and that's what I did. And then you've done nothing but speed up, slow down, swerve all over the road all the way to the point we've stopped you.
Obviously, you know these are narrow roads, yeah? And
So why are you taking them on the offside then into a bend that you can't see around?
No, I was going 30 miles an hour.
Doesn't matter, you're still on the wrong side of the road. Just turn your engine off for me and jump out. Thank you. You had anything to drink?
No, sorry.
Okay. Grab my breathalyzer, alright, just stand through your car.
I'm not trying to be cheeky or rude, yeah?
I know that.
But I'm at a wedding, it's my cousin, my own first
But that doesn't give you
wedding.
an excuse. What you to do, straight nice start till we lips around the tube and blow until say to stop, okay?
Right.
I'll keep over the ice. Blow, 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 blow.
Yep, thank you, sir. We don't need any more units at this time.
The blow interruption, so we'll have to try again. Like you're blowing a balloon up, nice and steady. Alright. Blow. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, stop. Thank you. You had anything to drink at all in the last 12 hours or so?
Yeah, like 4 hours ago.
You are extremely lucky because you've blown 3 under the limit.
I only had 2 cups, officer. I don't drink and drive recklessly.
Okay. But you're 3 under the limit. So when did you start driving?
10, 15 minutes ago.
Right. Okay. So you'd have possibly been on the limit.
No, but I stopped drinking 3 hours ago.
Okay, that's fine. But ideally, if you're driving, you don't need to drink.
Yeah, I know that, but I only had 2 cups plus. Officer, you can see I'm in a suit. I'm from Milton Keynes.
What does that mean? Does that mean you're exempt from drinking and driving?
I understand that. I'm not drinking and driving though. No.
The device proves that you are. You've blown 32.
Yeah, but
so you've drunk alcohol and you drove, haven't you? So you took a risk that you didn't need to take. Is what I'm telling you.
But the cup is 3 units per cup.
What I'm telling you is another 3. You'd have been arrested for drink driving.
Okay.
So if I'd have stopped you 15 minutes ago, you'd have probably been locked up for drink driving. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Do you understand that?
Can I just put it from another way?
Yeah.
Do you know if you were involved in a fatal collision, even if it wasn't your fault, all people would say is he'd been drinking.
Okay.
That's the point I think the officer's trying to make. We don't want you to be labelled and we don't want you to be involved in that.
He thinks he's being responsible by stopping drinking an hour, 2 hours before he's driving. Fortunately for him on this occasion, he's literally just scraped through it. Why would you risk it?
Well, you've got a clean licence, haven't you?
Yes.
Are we going to keep it that way?
Yes.
No, Dad.
On your way, yes.
No, right now.
Stop waking people up and get gone. People asleep. And I said on your way, what I said, didn't I? Don't push your luck. They've just been to a wedding and they thought that that was a fantastic excuse to drive exactly like they've done. I mean, yeah, he's blown under the drink drive limit. I appreciate that he thinks he's done nothing wrong, but essentially he can still impair his driving and he shouldn't be driving the way he has done.
Coming up,
Speed increases 100.
a dangerous car thief is desperate to avoid arrest.
He's on the wrong way, northbound on the southbound carriageway.
Police, can I have a word?
And a suspect is caught on the run.
What's this about?
There's been a car abandoned on the M1 motorway. It's been stolen.
I've got any Oscar Tango units, please, that can start making the way M1 northbound ANPR hits.
Halfway through a busy night shift, Sergeant Scott Riley and his team are on the lookout for the second stolen car in the space of 2 hours.
So we've got a stolen vehicle coming down from Sheffield. We've got 2 units behind it.
Traffic cop Dan Mitchell is leading the chase of the stolen car.
Contact.
He's clocked on that we're there. It's now a pursuit. His mindset is, I'm not going to stop.
Contact traffic. Speed is 70. Speed driven normally at this time. It's lane 1 of 4. What's the tactics looking at it? See if we can get a units to do preemptive on it. Yeah, I've got 2 units with me at the moment. Yes, I'm sure at this time, thank you. Vehicle moves at lane 3. Speed increases to 80.
It can be stressful. You need to remain as calm as you can, even though you've got 1,001 things going around in your mind.
Still continues lane 3. Speed 90. Speed increases 100. Stand by. Step off.
He goes through a set of red traffic lights.
Vehicle continues round the roundabout.
we blow another red light. Thankfully, there's very little traffic, so that's a godsend. They're putting so many lives in danger, including their own, but they just don't care, they're selfish. Something that every single one of us dreads. We can't be going and chasing them the wrong way up a motorway, putting other people's lives at risk.
Seconds later, the stolen car driver is spotted by other officers and a police drone is now above.
Stand by, the vehicle's been abandoned, the driver is making off up the grass embankment to the offside. One male occupant wearing a tracksuit, one male. I'm going to try and get to where he is.
1024, right as there is possibly footpaths.
So that's the Knots dog unit. So it's just about now putting a containment on in the area, getting plenty of cops, and he's going to do one of two things. Either try and brave it out, or just lay himself down somewhere. If he lays himself down somewhere, hopefully the dogs will pick him up. If he braves it out, hopefully he'll just walk onto a main road where a unit can pick him up.
While the dogs and drone search the fields, nearby, Scott spots a young man walking the streets.
Hello mate, you alright? Police, can I have a word? You've been running tonight? You seem out of breath, buddy.
Been arguing.
You've been arguing?
Yeah, I'm not from around here, I'm dickhead lads.
Alright. I know you Tango Sierra 4?
Sierra 4?
Yeah, first can I have another unit that's involved in this area search please to my location, which I think is near some woodland off so far, near to the cemetery?
Yes, yes.
Can I have a unit join me there please, and then can I have a 10-15 person check please?
Yes, yes.
You ever been in trouble with the police before, pal?
Yeah.
What for?
There is another unit.
Burglary?
2014, a long time ago.
You look at how big they are against how big you are, you look at what they're known for previously with the police, if they've got a history of violence, you're thinking, which way is this going to go? So what did you steal from the burglary?
Stuff like that.
Cars or anything like that? No? TVs? What's all the scratches on your arms?
Fighting.
Who with?
The group of, what the MK gangs they're called. You can have a look if you want.
Where's all the cuts on your legs from?
Fighting. What's this about, if you don't want to ask you?
What this is about is you've been stopped because there's been a car abandoned on the M1 motorway. It's been stolen. Okay? You match the description of the person that's run from it, and you've got scratches all over you, like you've been running through bambles. You might not have been, but I'm saying why I've stopped you. All right.
I was about to say, I'm thinking, match the description. If you go through by the care home,
yep.
It's like, I'd say like,
near the
not woods,
cemetery, yeah,
you can cut
just
through.
on that corner.
And obviously, it's the thorn bush where I ran through there. I'll take you there if you want.
Why are your trousers wet?
Apologies, is known. Currently subject to Crown Court bail conditions, has got curfew between the hours of 1900 and 0700, which is electronically monitored.
No, tag on there.
Received.
Yes, it's stating that curfew's been removed and he hasn't got a tag. Is that definitely still live on PNC, Annie?
You can call the solicitors if we give you the name and number.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've been on trial for 2.5 years.
They are still showing current on PNC, but I don't know when his next court date is. Looking at his disposal history, he hasn't recently been dealt with. His last conviction is using a vehicle whilst uninsured, burglary and theft, making off without payment.
Cute. Hello. All right. You just watch this chat while I get some radio traffic. And go ahead with that message, please.
Just looking at what this mail's got in progress, the matters that haven't been finalised yet are message saying driving a silver Civic in London Road where he's driven in a dangerous manner, contravening red lights and driving in the wrong carriageway.
Yes, 24, thank you for that, it's very helpful. Right mate, listen to what I'm going to say to you. At this moment in time, you're under arrest on theft of motor vehicle. and suspicion of burglary. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm yourself not make sure question. Something which you later on in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. All right.
What do you mean by theft of vehicle and burglary?
I mean that the vehicle that's stolen has been stolen from a burglary, so you're under arrest for that burglary and suspicion of theft of the vehicle. Right, come take a seat in this car then, buddy. The more and more the net was sort of tightening round him, the more and more he knew that I wasn't just going to go away and he wasn't going to fob me off. I've got to be honest, if he were going to run, I'd have fancied my chances. Sit down there for us, mate. His story of I've been to a party at 3 in the morning, dressed like that, covered in scratches, covered in stuff from the hedgerow, and even smelt like he'd been gardening, he's been through that much foliage. It's just ridiculous. All right, I just want to take a photo of your legs there. Just turn that leg around for me. Grab your trainers for me, please. And we'll just walk over to you. And just put your trainers down at the side there as well, mate, please. Hey, up you are. His shoes are soaking.
What are the circumstances of the burglary? I'm asking.
I don't mind you asking at all, because you've got a right to know. It's a burglary in Sheffield today. All right.
No, in Sheffield today?
Yeah. And that's what you've been arrested on suspicion for. Come with me, and leave them there. I'll put them in a room for you. It's a great result for us. It's a brilliant result for South Yorkshire Police, because ultimately the car's stolen off South Yorkshire. They'll come down and interview him. They'll have to build the investigation. Whether we'll ever get the evidence to prove that he was driving is another thing, but there's no doubt in my mind that we've got the right offender for the job.
"12 hours later."
Oscar Tango 36, Oscar Juliet mobiles are en route.
Scott's back on duty and immediately called into action.
Somebody want to ask him if they want a rolling block putting on at 28?
Yeah, can do.
And then also a potential stinger we could set up at the off slip at 28.
Okay.
Straight out of the office for a stolen car that's coming from West Yorkshire.
Well, West Yorkshire and South Yorkshire are following it. It's committed 29 South now with the last update.
Also responding from the station is traffic cop Chris Wells-Jackson.
Oscar Tango mobile units, can I have you making your way, please, towards this vehicle?
Yes, I'm making my way from Whitman.
So we're just making his way to junction 28. See if they want a rolling roadblock put on, or any stinger sites, just in case this vehicle fails to stop.
Coming up.
Is anybody else looking out to assist? Over.
A wanted suspect in a cross-border chase with 8 police cars.
Move out, move out, move out.
As officers attempt to box a stolen van. In Derbyshire, it's a busy 24 hours for Sergeant Scott Riley and his team. A few miles from the centre of Derby, Scott and 8 units from 3 forces are tailing a stolen van from West Yorkshire.
South Yorkshire Channel, over. Is anybody else looking out to assist? Over. Yeah, tactic on it, quick.
You can soon travel from West Yorkshire to South Yorkshire, onto Derbyshire, then down into Leicestershire, so we are constantly working with other forces, and when they shout up and say they're coming onto our area, we'll do as much as we can to help them, and when we go onto their area, they do as much as they can to help us.
I'll put follow me's on, Scott.
Do you want the safety?
Yes, safety's on.
Traffic cop Chris Wells-Jackson holds the traffic back as officers in front prepare to box the van to a stop.
In lane 1, if you can get that one. Subject is still 7 miles per hour. Stand by for its junction.
We really need to control that traffic flow down to us.
Move out, move out, move out.
We also need to be really quick to deal with what we're dealing with, get in and get out as quickly as we can. Do you know how many's on board?
It looks like it's a driver.
Just him, no one else.
Because West Yorkshire, South Yorkshire and Derbyshire have been involved, the sheer amount of police vehicles was enough to make anybody stop. And when we're three forces are working together as a big stop like that, it's really impressive.
Take it all to the gravel car park at the Nick.
No injuries. Yes, thank you for that. Due to that, then I'll take this patch off.
Just shows the effort we do go to avoid any injury to any members of the public, any damage to police vehicles, and it is a show of strength. Ultimately, it's a stolen car off West Yorkshire. We'll get that recovered from Ripper Police Station, and it's whether that the prisoner's transferred straight back up to West Yorkshire or he goes to a Derbyshire cell to be booked in. Is it a recent theft?
Yeah. Are you West Yorkshire?
Yeah.
So where's it gone from?
Was it Chapeltown in Leeds?
All right.
Either today or yesterday. I think it was this morning.
He says he wants to go back into prison. He's done it to get locked up. He says he's only had a bit of weed today, but he's sweating out, man.
From the sounds of it, he wanted to be arrested. He's a habitual drug user and he's wanting to get some help, so his way of getting locked up was to steal his motor vehicle and get caught in it. So that's exactly what's happened. He'll probably go back to prison, hopefully get the help he needs, and that'll stop him committing crime in the future.
It's really difficult to understand that prison is sometimes a better option for somebody. Out there on the streets, people are offering criminals drugs constantly, and that person might want to get off the drugs, but they can't. One route out for them is to get themselves put into prison where they've not got that same temptation. A world of criminality can only last so long, and sometimes people just give up and want us to catch them.
Lovely.
Nice one.
Thank you very much. Have a good journey back.
93,000 cars were stolen last year, one every 6 minutes.
I am seeing an increase in drivers that will take unbelievable risks, death-defying risks, driving the wrong way on motorways, wrong way on dual carriageways at ridiculous speeds. And the desperation and the risks that they're taking, it's game over if you crash.
There is nothing exciting about being involved in this job. I've been to enough fatals to know that my safety is at risk, the team's safety is at risk, the public's safety is at risk, and the potential loss of life is unimaginable.
In this episode, the wanted prolific criminal caught in the Ford Focus is currently on police bail for car theft and is under investigation for a number of separate offences, including theft, criminal damage, drug supply, assault and failing to stop after a collision. The scratched-up suspect, who the cops believe abandoned a stolen car after driving the wrong way up the motorway,
I just want to take a photo of your legs there,
was charged with dangerous driving, breach of court bail and curfew, but he is still under investigation for car theft.
Okay, how many offences have been arrested for? It's going to take me a little while to type all that.
Move out, move out, move out.
The suspected van thief was not charged with any theft offences, but is currently released under investigation while the police await the results of a drugs test.
He says he wants to go back into prison. He's done it to get locked up. He says he's only had a bit of weed today, but he's sweating.
Oh dear me, here we go.
And having led the police on a 100-mile chase across several counties at 165 miles an hour.
It's crash. We've got 4 runners.
The teenage Audi driver was sentenced to a year in a Young Offenders Institute and banned from driving for 5.5 years.
We've got 4 detained.
no action was taken against the other 4 suspects.
And ops next Monday at 8, slowing the pace a little.